Okay, Chanukah Sameach, happy Chanukah everyone. We are now in the last day of Chanukah, the 8th day of Chanukah, and I want to try to learn with you something amazing connected to the lights of the menorah. So the title, I'm sorry that all my slides over here will be in Hebrew. I'll translate everything that will be needed to be translated. But the title over here is Chanukah Ha'or Haganuz, which is the hidden light. The hidden light. When Hashem commanded us in the desert to build the Mishkan, which was the first Beis HaMikdash that we had, but that was a traveling Mikdash, because we built it in the first year, second year of the 40 years in the desert, and it went with the Jewish people throughout the journey to until they come to Eretz Israel, and then entered with us, and it took 440 years after Yoshua bin Nun crossed the Jordan River until Shlomo HaMelech built the first Beit HaMikdash in Yerushalayim. So in the Mishkan was all the things that was in Beit HaMikdash later on, and one of them was the menorah. When they finished to build the Mikdash, the Mishkan, it was Chanukah HaMizbeach. Today, in the 8th day of Chanukah, we're reading in the parasha, it's called Zot Chanukah, because this is the highlight of Chanukah, this is the 8th day. So we learned over there in the Torah, let me show you the psukim in the Torah. In Parashat Be'alotcha, in Parashat Naso, it says, ויהי ביום כלות משה להקים את המשכן, וימשך אותו, ויקדש אותו, ואת כל כליו, ואת המזבח, ואת כל כליו, וימשכם, ויקדש אותם. So everything was done, was be ready to start work, and then all the presidents of each tribe from the 12 tribes, get his contribution to the Mikdash, to Chanukah HaMizbeach. But one thing was missing. As you know, how many tribes we have? 12? Tribes. Shvatim. How many Shvatim? 13. Why? Because Yosef divided to two, to Menashe and Ephraim. So we have 13 tribes. In Chanukah HaMizbeach, it's mentioned that only 12 out of the 13 bring their korban leChanukah HaMizbeach. One tribe was missing, and interestingly enough, this tribe was the tribe of Levi. Levi didn't bring any korban for the Mizbeach. And why it's interesting? Because Levi is the tribe that from it are the Kohanim and the Levim that gonna operate the Mishkan. So it was, in a way, missing. So at the end of this Parashat Naso, started Parashat Be'alotcha, and here Moshe Rabbeinu was commanded by Hashem to say the following: וידבר השם אל משה לאמור, דבר אל אהרון ואמרת אליו, בהעלותך את הנרות אל מול פני המנורה יאירו שבעת הנרות. The korbanot that the tribes bring was leChanukah HaMizbeach. It was a mizbeach, it was a menorah. So Chanukah HaMizbeach, Shevet Levi and Aaron didn't bring anything. But right after it's finished, Hashem said to Moshe, tell Aaron that he will be in charge of the menorah. He will light the menorah in the Mishkan, right? So the Medrash bring over here something very interesting. Be'alotcha, the Ramban bring the Midrash on this pasuk. למה נסמכה פרשת המנורה לפרשת הנשיאים? Why Hashem put it in the Torah close to each other? The Nesiim that bring the korbanot for the Mizbeach and the commandment about the menorah, how to light the menorah. לפי שכשראה אהרון חנוכת הנשיאים חלשה אז דעתו שלא היה עמהם בחנוכה, לא הוא ולא שבטו. Aaron felt bad that he is not giving anything for חנוכת המזבח, so he felt sorry. Hashem told him, don't worry about it. You have different parts in the Mishkan, and look at the words. אמר לו הקדוש ברוך הוא, חייך שלך גדולה משלהם. what you're gonna do in the Mishkan will be bigger than what the Nesiim do. Why? The Nesiim bring their korbanot for the Mizbeach, but you're gonna do the menorah. The question is, why the menorah is bigger or important more than the Mizbeach? The answer is amazing, and here's the Ramban. Look at this. אבל לדרוש רמז מן הפרשה על חנוכה של נרות שהייתה בבית שני על ידי אהרון ובניו, רצוני לומר חשמונאי כהן גדול ובניו. And the Medrash bring, there is no point now to bring all the sources because there are many. I'll summarize it for you. The Medrash says, and the Ramban pointed out, he says the following: your Aaron and Shevet Levi, your contribution, your part in the Mishkan is bigger than the Nesiim. Why? The Nesiim are bringing korbanot for the Mizbeach. You light the menorah. And what makes the menorah greater, bigger than the Mizbeach? The Mizbeach will be functioning as long as we have the Mishkan and the Mikdash. But Bet HaMikdash destroyed the first one and the second one as well, right? And since then we have no korbanot. We could not bring korbanot because you could bring korbanot only in Yerushalayim, only in Bet HaMikdash, only when Bet HaMikdash is there, right? So therefore, it stopped. I mean, the korbanot stopped at a certain point when the destruction of the first Bet HaMikdash and the second Bet HaMikdash. But the light of the menorah continued. How it continued? Bet HaMikdash destroyed, we have no menorah in Bet HaMikdash. True, we do not have menorah in Bet HaMikdash, but we have menorah in Chanukah. And even after this destruction of Bet HaMikdash, throughout the exile that we went through it and until now we are in it, every year, every Jewish family light the menorah. And this menorah is forever. It's never stopped. Even the destruction of Bet HaMikdash will not take from us the light of the menorah. Now, after we understand that the menorah is something that's eternal, something that exists forever, let's go and understand in deep way what the light of the menorah is. Because one of the things that you have to ask yourself, why Hashem, in the first place, command us to light menorah in Beis HaMikdash? I'll explain why. In Beis HaMikdash was Heichal and Kodesh HaKodashim. And this place, Heichal and Kodesh HaKodashim, you know what, if you want, I'll show you some picture of this. Here is the Beit HaMikdash. That's the way Beit Sheni was look like. This is the east side, this is the west side, this is the north, this is the south. Okay? The entrance to Beit HaMikdash were from the east. Here is a place called Azara. Here is the Mizbeach. Here, you see over here, there is a Mizbeach. That's the Mizbeach that was the korbanot. The korbanot was bring out. And here you have a building that was covered with a ceiling. This place is the Ulam, the Heichal, and Kodesh HaKodashim. To this place, nobody allowed to enter. Only the Kohanim, and only for doing the Avodah. To Kodesh HaKodashim, which is at the end of this building, only the Kohen Gadol will enter only once a year in Yom HaKippurim. Okay? Now let's go inside the building and see how it was look like. Okay? This is again the entire thing. Now I'll skip to the building itself. Here's the Hechal. When you go from here, from the east, okay? You go, the first thing that you see is, if you see over here, it's Mizbeach HaZahav. It's the golden altar. The golden altar was Mizbeach HaKtoret. Here, no sacrifice, but the Ktoret, the spices, you know, Pitum HaKtoret, that's the Mizbeach. In the north side of it, a little bit deep inside, was the Shulchan. And in the left side was the menorah. Now, Hashem told us in the Torah that the menorah, the lights of the menorah, this menorah, by the way, was with 7 branches, not 8, 7 branches. Okay? And this menorah should be lit in every night, mi'erev ad boker, from the evening to the morning. Every night. Now the question is, why? Why Hashem wants those lights to be there in the nighttime? It's not to serve anybody, because nobody allowed to enter there. Only during the day, before it's dark, the Kohen goes and light the menorah and then come out, and you're not allowed to stay there. During the night, nobody's there, right? So why we need a light over there? For who? Not for the Kohanim, because they're not going to be there during nighttime. Not for Hashem, because Hashem doesn't need any light, right? But this is a mitzvah in the Torah, ner tamid. It should be always light there. Now here, I don't know again what's your background. I'm first time here. And I don't know how deep I could go. I hope you're not going to be feeling that I'm flying up too much. Tell me, okay? If so, I'll try to land. Any what? I see. Oh, if that's a problem, we could solve it. Okay. So, what we have to understand in what the deep meaning of light is. Okay. So let's start from this. Let's start from the simple and then go higher and higher. In the first day of the creation, when Hashem created the world, remember the first psukim in the Torah, the first verses in the Torah? Bereshit bara Elokim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. In the beginning, Hashem created the sky, or the shamayim and the aretz. Now the second verse, ve'haaretz hayta tohu vavohu, ve'choshech al pnei tehom. It was chaos, tohu vavohu, and it was dark. Ve'choshech, choshech is darkness. It was dark, meaning, right after Hashem created the world, the first thing that He created was in chaos, and it was in darkness. Therefore, the first thing that Hashem created in the first day of the creation was the light. Vayomer Elokim yehi or vayehi or. Hashem said, will be light, and then was light. What is the light? What's the difference between light and darkness? So what I want to say is the following. Light, the definition of light, is ability to realize the reality. Meaning, if you have a very good pair of eyes, your vision is perfect, 20/20, right? If will be completely dark around, let's say it's nighttime, no lights, no moon, nothing, complete pitch dark. With your good eyes, you could not see anything. In order to see, you need two things. A good pair of eyes, healthy, and light. Without light, with your good eyes, what are you going to see? Darkness. Meaning, you're not seeing anything, you see darkness. When there is light, the light gives you ability to use your tools, meaning the eyes, and realize the reality. Now, another one very important point. You know, here you have a dimmer. You know what a dimmer, right? So, imagine that we are in completely dark room, and we try to see, we could not see anything, it's pitch dark, and then I'll take the dimmer and slowly I'll pull it up. In the beginning will be a little of light, right? The little light will let us see something. Not clear because it's really, really dim. I mean, it's really not full light. The more I raise it up, will be more light. Until to get to the full, strong light, then we could see clear, right? So, the point is the following. The things in the room are there when you have the ability to see it or not. Meaning the reality is there. The light just change your ability to understand the reality. Got it? Meaning, even if it's completely pitch dark, the things that will be there when it will be light are still there when it's dark. You could not realize them. You understand? Meaning, light is important. Without light, you could not see the real reality. Okay? Let's go now in a higher level. When I want to explain to you something complicated, I'm asking you, please pay attention, concentrate. I finish the explanation, and then I say to you, do you understand what I'm saying? So what word usually we use? You see? And when you understand what you say, I see. I see, I understand. So here we use the word see, not to look in your flesh eyes, but we're talking about different kind of eyes. The eyes of the brain, the eyes of the sechel, the eyes of the mind, right? So when I want to ask you, do you understand? I'm asking you to open your mind eyes, which is not the physical eyes, but the intellectual eyes to understand. We're using the same words, right? See. No. So, intellectualize. Now, here's the main point. The same way that in the physical, we need 2 good, healthy physical eyes, plus light to realize what's going on, the same way exactly about the eyes of the mind. The eyes of the mind, meaning if you have a very good, sharp mind, you're very smart, you're very logical, you're very rational, right? And you try to understand the reality, so you have good eyes of the mind. You still need something else, light. Without this light, and here I'm talking about different kind of light, a spiritual light, he'ara. Without this light, with your smartest mind, you will see darkness. Do you understand what I'm saying? Meaning, there is light that it's not physical light, but intellectual, spiritual light that you need to make it a partner of your eyes, meaning the eyes of the mind, in order to see the real reality. Okay, now let's go further.
If we don't have the light of the mind,
Yeah.
do we have the light of the eyes?
If you do not have the light of the spiritual light, then
Do we have the eyes?
Yeah.
Light of the eyes?
you still, it's 2 different things. In the physical, you need a good, healthy eyes and light in order to look, to see, right? In the intellectual, you need a good way of thinking, meaning sharp mind, let's say, but without the spiritual light, you will not see the reality the way it is. And here comes the story of Chanukah. How? Yeah.
I know the story of Hanukkah.
Good. I'm trying even to understand it even better. Thank you. Okay. So the story of Chanukah is the following. Realize the following. We lighting the menorah. And the same way in Beis HaMikdash. But in Chanukah, we light the menorah not in the daytime. It's nice that it's lit over here now, but you know the mitzvah is to do it when it's dark, right? When it's dark, then you light the menorah. Why? Why not in the daytime? Because in the daytime there is no significance to this. Because there is light anyway, so the candle or the light of the candle is not adding anything if there is a lot of light around. When it's dark, then the little light of the candle is very significant. As we say in Hebrew, me'at min ha'or doche harbe min ha'choshech. Even a little light is just defeat the darkness. Okay? Now, when Hashem created the world, in the first day of the creation, He created the light. I don't know if you pay attention to this, but if you go, do you remember what Hashem created in every day in the creation? The first day was the light. What was the second day? Yehi rakia betoch hamayim ve'im avdil ben mayim lemayim. It was a sky that divided between the upper water to the lower water. In the third day, yikavu hamayim mitachat hashamayim el makom echad. All the water, because remember, in the second pasuk in the Torah, it says, והארץ הייתה תוהו ובוהו וחושך על פני תהום ורוח אלוקים מרחפת על פני המים. Meaning, water was covering everything. Everything was covered by water. In the third day, Hashem said, those water should go away and leave room for the dry land. ייקבעו המים מתחת השמיים ותראה היבשה. That's what Hashem created in the third day. And also, תדשי הארץ דשא. So that the plants and the grass will come out. That both of those things happened in the third day. Now we're going to the fourth day. What Hashem created in the fourth day? Vayomer Elokim, this is the fourth day. Yehi me'orot birkiya hashamayim, להבדיל בין היום ובין הלילה, והיו לאותות ולמועדים ולימים ושנים. Hashem created the sun and the moon and the stars in the fourth day. Why? והיו למאורות. So they should give light. נכון? It's written over here, להאיר על הארץ. The question is, Hashem created the light in the first day. So why do we need another source of light in the fourth day? In the first day it says, Vayomer Elokim yehi or, right? Did you ever thought about this? I mean, so what is it? So there is here a big secret that in the Kabbalah it's mentioned, that the light that Hashem created in the first day was so great, was so big, so strong, that Hashem decided to put it in the safe, take it away and put it in a hidden place. And this is, if you heard this notion before, Ha'or HaGanuz, the hidden light. So this light that Hashem created in the first day of the creation was functioning for 3 days. The first, the second, the third. In the fourth day, Hashem put it away, and instead of it, He gave us the light that we know, which is the light of the sun. The moon gets from the sun, the star gets the reflection from the sun. So what is the highest light that we could understand? The light of the sun. The light of the sun. But there is something very interesting over here. The first light is still somewhere, but hidden. And this is the hidden light. What is the meaning of this? I want to show you again a few very deep things that mentioned in the deeper level of the Torah, mostly in the Kabbalah. Let's start from going back to the first day of the creation and then look at the following. This is the description of what Hashem created in the first day of the creation. Let's see. בראשית ברא אלוקים את השמיים ואת הארץ, והארץ הייתה תוהו ובוהו וחושך על פני תהום. חושך is darkness, right? ויאמר אלוקים יהי אור ויהי אור. Now count with me how many times the word or is mentioned in the description of the first day of the creation. 5 times. 5 times. ויאמר אלוקים יהי אור ויהי אור. וירא אלוהים את האור כי טוב, this is the third. ויבדל אלוהים בין האור, this is the fourth. בין האור ובין החושך, ויקרא אלוהים לאור יום. ולחושך קרא לילה. 5 times the word or, light, mentioned in the first day of the creation. Now let's go to the fourth day of the creation. And count with me the light, the word light in the way it's mentioned over there, and be aware of something very interesting. ויאמר אלוהים יהי מאורות ברכי השמיים להבדיל בין היום ובין הלילה, והיו לאותות ולמועדים ולימים ושנים. והיו למאורות, this is the second time, ברכי השמיים להאיר על הארץ ויחן. ויעש אלוהים את שני המאורות, third time, הגדולים, את המאור הגדול 4 times לממשלת היום, ואת המאור הקטון לממשלת הלילה, ואת הכוכבים. So here again, it's 5 times, but here it's mentioned Ma'or, with the mem in the beginning, right? You aware of this? So we have or and we have Ma'or. What is the difference between or and Ma'or? Here you have to understand a little bit Hebrew. The letter mem in the beginning of the word always says sum of. For example, we have here, let's say, chairs. Let's say 40 chairs in the room, right? If I tell somebody, take the chairs, meaning take all 40 chairs. But if I said to somebody, take from the chairs, not all of them, but some of them. From in Hebrew is me. קח את הכיסאות, or קח מהכיסאות. So me is from, right? So here we see the following. In the beginning, the first day of the creation, Hashem created light. In the 4th day of the creation, Hashem created from the light. From the light. This is ma'or, me'orot, from the light. On this, says the Medrash and the Kabbalah the following. The Gemara in Masechet Chagiga says the following. Ve'or bayom harishon ivri, the light was created in the first day of the creation. והכתיב ויתן אותם אלוקים ברכי השמיים, וכתיב ויהי ערב ויהי בוקר יום רביעי. So the Gemara asks, Hashem created the sun and the moon and the star in the 4th day. And the reason for it is להאיר על הארץ, to give light. So the question is, when the light was created, in the first day or in the 2nd day? Answer the Gemara, דאמר רבי אלעזר, אור שברא הקדוש ברוך הוא ביום הראשון, אדם צופה בו מסוף העולם ועד סופו. The light that was created in the first day was so strong that a person that was exposed to this light could see from the one end of the world to the end one of the world. And this is the Nevuah. And this is the Nevuah. What is the meaning of it? What's from one end to the other end? You have to understand that everything in the creation divided to 2 realms. The time and the space. So when I say from the beginning to the end, it's double meaning of it. From the beginning of the history to the end of the history, meaning on time, and also in space, from one point of the space to the other, to the end, other point of the space. This is misof ha'olam ve'ad sofo, meaning the light was so great that you could see everything, the entire history. Remember, light is the ability to realize the reality. You understand? Remember this? So this is the meaning of it. That with the light that Hashem created in the first day, if this light was stayed, and Hashem will not put it away, if we are exposed to it, we will know everything. We will know the future, we will know everything. Misof ha'olam ve'ad sofo. But Hashem says, no, it's not good for the creation, this light. It's too big, it's too strong. Therefore, כיוון שנסתכל הקדוש ברוך הוא בדור המבול ובדור הפלגה, Hashem saw the generations that are going to come and their choices that will be not good choices. He said, no, this light is not proper for them. I have to put it away. ראה שמעשיהם מקולקלים, he saw that they are doing not too good things. עמד וגנזו מהם. He put it away in a safe. גניזה is a safe. גניזה. He put it in the safe. Meaning, he didn't just cancel it. It still exists, but it's hidden. The question is, it's hidden for what? Says the Gemara, ולמי גנזו לצדיקים לעתיד לבוא. This light is hidden, but will be one time at the end of days that Hashem will take it out, and who will have the merit to use this light? The tzaddikim. Who are the tzaddikim?
The ladies in this room.
You. Exactly. You. I'll tell you why. Tzaddikim is our Am Yisrael. Am Yisrael are tzaddikim. It's mentioned in the Mishnah, כל ישראל יש להם חלק לעולם הבא. שנאמר, ועמך כולם צדיקים. The entire nation is tzaddikim. Because we got the Torah, and the Torah gives us the ability to do right things in the darkness of the world, therefore we are tzaddikim. And at the end of days, when this world will come to the end point of it, then Hashem will reveal the light, and we will be merited to use this light. And then we will know everything. Everything will be okay. Now, let me show you again few very interesting things that mentioned in the Kabbalah about those lights. As we learned over here, the first light that Hashem created in the first day was functioning for 3 days. The first, the second, and the third, right? Then in the fourth day, Hashem created instead the light that we know today, which is the light of the sun. Now, about each day in the creation, it's mentioned, Vayhi erev, vayhi boker yom echad, vayhi erev, vayhi boker yom sheni. So it was we have 24 hours in a day, right? The first part of the day in the Jewish calendar start from the night time, not from the morning, as you know, right? Shabbat, we started when it's dark in Shishi B'erev. It's Shabbat already. Motzei Shabbat is already Sunday. Because the beginning of the day in the Jewish way is from the night time. We learned it from the creation. Vayhi erev, vayhi boker. First the dark and then the light. So according to that, if we have 24 hours, the first 12 is dark, no light, and then in the morning we have 12 hours of light. So according to this, the hours of the functioning of the first light was how many? 12 plus 12 plus 12, which is 36. Remember this number. 36 hours of light. Okay? After that, Hashem took it and put it away.
Is that why 36 is such a good number?
I'll show you why. Make some a little calculation. Wait. I'll say it. Count the numbers of the candles that we light in Chanukah without the shamash. Only the actual light, not the other extra light that we put, okay? In the first day it's 1. Second is 2. Make plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. What will be the end? 36. We have 36 light candles that we light during Chanukah. Okay? Now says in Kabbalah books that Hashem says to Aharon, to Moshe Rabbeinu, tell Aharon in Parashat Be'alotcha et hanerot. In the menorah in Beis HaMikdash was only 7 lights. Right? 7 lights. Because it was 7 branches. It was 6 from 3 from each side of the menorah and 1 in the middle. 7 lights. But as we said before, Hashem told Aaron, don't worry that you didn't bring korban in Chanukah HaMizbeach. Yours is bigger. Why? Because the light of the menorah will be forever, even after Beit HaMikdash will be destroyed in Chanukah. In Chanukah. Now, how many lights we have in Chanukah? 36. Says the Kabbalah books. Let me show you the source of it. Rabbi Tzadok HaKohen says this. Oh, okay. Look at this. In the menorah, we have to know, when Hashem commanded us to light the menorah, Ve'halotcha et hanerot, it says that you have to take shemen zayit zach. Shemen zayit zach, pure oil. What's pure oil of olive? So you have to know that when they take the olive and press it in order to take the oil, the only oil that was good for the menorah in Beis HaMikdash was the first drop that you squeeze the oil. After the first drop, the other drops comes with dirt, with things that not pure oil. Therefore, for Beis HaMikdash, in order to make the light for the menorah, they have to press one oil once. The first drop Okay, now you add it to another. It should be very, very clear. The more pure the oil, the light is more clear. Right? Now about this, it's mentioned in Kabbalah books, and this is the source of it. Rabbi Tzadok HaKohen is one of the great rabbis that lived about 200 years ago. He was a big Mekubal, and he summarized the things in the Kabbalah to those words. Shemen Zayit Zach, in the menorah of Beis HaMikdash, meramez al ha'or belo psolet. This is a hint on the light without any dirt. Ukmo shenivra me'Hashem yitbarach. The same pure light that Hashem created in the first day. Ve'or harishon, and the first light that Hashem created, gnazo Hashem yitbarach baTorah. He put it in a safe, right? He put it away. Where exactly he put it? Where? In the Torah. The safe is the Torah.
Part of it or all of it?
Wait. The entire Torah. Over there, the light is hidden. The light. Now. Listen, let me talk. Because if not, it'll be a lot of mix. You have to follow. I mean, it's... Yeah, exactly. Remember how many times the word "or" mentioned in the Torah? In the first day? 5 times. How many books we have in the Torah? 5. Bereshit, Shmot, Vayikra, Bamidbar, Udvarim, right? So, each one of them got one of the lights that mentioned in the first day of the creation. Hashem put it in the Torah. So, meaning, what's the meaning of the word Torah in Hebrew? What's the meaning of the word Torah? Horaot, directions, instructions. This is the Torah. Torah li et haderech. Show me the way. Give me instructions. Now, to who you need to give instructions? To people who do not know. Like me before. I need instruction to get here. Because I got the wrong address. So I need to know. So you need instructions when you do not know by yourself. And we have to know that we do not know by ourselves what to do. We came to this world, we have no clue what's the purpose of it, what we should do, what's right, what's wrong. You cannot just decide it by your mind. You need instructions from the Creator. We got those instructions in the Torah. Hashem in the Torah instructing us and directing us what to do, what not to do, what's the right way to live and what's wrong. Right? This is Torah. Remember what's light? Light is give you ability to realize the reality. So Torah is giving you the ability to realize what the reality is and how to go through it. Now, the Torah has many, many levels. The famous divided of the Torah is to 4 levels, which is the Pardes, Pshat, Remez, Drash, and Sod. If you know what is this, do you? Yeah. I'll explain it in English. If you take the Torah, read the verses in the Torah, be aware of the amazing following thing. The only book in the world, in the entire world, that could fit any age and any ability of thinking is the Torah. There are very, very good books for kids. Very good books that was written for kids. Kids could enjoy it until a certain age. Give it to a 4 years old, you will be fascinated. Give the same book to this 4 years old 2 years later when he's 6 or when he's 8, when he's 15. Boring. It's not for me. What is this? You have very good books for teenagers. You have very good books for adults. You have very good books for professionals. For professionals, only the professionals could enjoy and get a benefit from the book. Other people will find it boring. The only book in the world that everyone could get benefit from it is the Torah. You could take it, tell the stories to 3 years old. Then, when he will be 6, 8, 10, 30, even the great genius in the world will always find something new and learn from the Torah. Because the Torah is the wisdom of God. It's not the wisdom of people. So there are in the Torah a lot of levels. And even if you heard something, when you learned it again, you will find that you missed something and you ask yourself, how I didn't see it before? Right? It's always like this. So the famous dividing of the Torah is to 4 layers. In Hebrew, the initials are Pei, Resh, Daled, Samech, Pardes. Let me explain each one of them. The pay of the Pardes is pshat. Pshat is the simple understanding. If you understand Hebrew, just read the verses, you will get one layer of what in it. Then, in the same letters, in the same verse, the same words, there is another deep level called remez. Remez is a hint. Hint. In the same verses, you have hints. How the hints works? The first letter of each word. Take the first letter and combine them together, you will find a totally amazing information in the hint. There are many kinds of hints. There are the beginning of the word, the end of the word, when you jump, in the letters. There are many ways. This is a whole realm by itself called hint. The third deeper level called drash. What is drash? Is the midrash. You heard about the midrashim, the medrash? Let me explain to you what midrash is. Lidrosh in Hebrew has two meanings. Lidrosh is to demand, ani doresh, demand, and lidrosh is to search, lechapes, right? Both meanings are true, and when you look at the Torah, you find, let's say, information in the simple level. And when you look at the information, you ask yourself, why it's written this way? It could be written efficiently in less words or in different way. So why it's written this way? Hashem knows this also. If it was only for the simple level information, it was enough. But because it's in it, there is deeper information. Therefore, it's written the way it's written. And this is the midrash. When you find a word in the Torah that you think, I could say it differently. So think, demand, search why it's written this way, and then you'll find out that there is a whole realm of information that is in there. This is the third level. The deepest level in the Torah is the Sod, which is the secret, which is the Kabbalah, which is the spirituality, that insight, and it's secret. Secret meaning it's hidden. It's hidden. It's there, but it's hidden. So when Hashem took the light and hid it in the Torah, it's in all level, but especially in the deepest level, which is the Kabbalah. Therefore, if I'm in the level that I could learn and understand the Kabbalah, I could see things that other people could not see. I could see the future. I could see the hidden things because this is in the Torah. Ha'or HaGanuz is hidden in the Torah. Now, in the secret, in the Kabbalah, there are many, many books that was written. Which is the famous one? The Zohar. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai wrote the book called Zohar. What is the meaning of the word Zohar in Hebrew? Which is? Lightning, radiates. Zohar. So over there is the light in the Kabbalah, right? In this is the most secret. It's hidden over there. Okay. Now, look at the following. והאור הראשון שגנזו השם יתברך בתורה. And he brings the medrash 5 times the word or mentioned in Bereshit כנגד 5 חומשי תורה. It's parallel to the 5 books of Moses, which is Bereshit, Shmot, Vayikra, Bamidbar, Udvarim. Okay. And now he says the following. Torah in Aramaic called Oraita. Oraita, be aware the other was Or. Oraita is in the Torah, right? Now, the secret, the deep secret is Sefer HaZohar. But here we come to the last thing that I'm going to show you over here from the Kabbalah, and this is the Bnei Sachar. He says the following. In Chanukah, Chanukah is in Chodesh Kislev, right? The name of the month in Hebrew is Kislev. What's Kislev? Take the word Kislev and divide it to 2. The first 2 letters are Kaf and Samech. Kaf and Samech is lechasot, to cover. Lechasot. Kiss. When you have a pocket, it's called a kiss because it's covering, right? Lechasot. Kislev is lechasot. And then you have the letter Lamed and Vav. Lamed and Vav is 36. 36. So, in this month will be the light, which is the 36th light that was in the first day in the creation. It was in Beit HaMikdash in the menorah, therefore it should be very pure and very clear. And this is in Chodesh Kislev. And this thing that we do, Kislev is covering this Lamed Vav. Another thing that mentioned in the Gemara, that in every generation there are 36 tzaddikim. אמר אביי, זה גמרא עם מסכת סנהדרין, לא פחות עלמא מקלטים ושישה צדיקי דמקבלין אפי שכינתא בכל דרא. There are, in every generation, 36 tzaddikim. They are hidden. Tzaddikim nistarim. Tzaddik nistar is a hidden tzaddik. Nobody knows. Sometimes he himself doesn't know that he is a tzaddik. And the more he doesn't know, he is more tzaddik. Right? There are lamed vav tzaddikim that keep the world. There are, and it's mentioned in the Pasuk in Tehillim. Pasuk in Tehillim, you just said it. Ashrei kol choche lo. Lo is lamed vav, and this is the tzaddikim, the lamed vav tzaddikim, that the entire world exists because of them. And they are hidden. 36.
It can be only men.
No. Could be, anybody could be tzaddik. Okay? So we find over here the following, that the light that Hashem created in the first day is here. It's still here. It's hidden. Where it's hidden? It's hidden in the Torah. So if you're a tzaddik, what's the meaning of the word tzaddik? Tzaddik is somebody that do what's right. The root of the word tzaddik is the letter tzaddik dalet kuf, which is tzedek, justice. Justice meaning that you do what's right. What is the meaning of this? I'll tell you why. Most of the people in the world are not doing what's right. Why? Tell you why. Hashem created a human being with two parts. Vayitzer Hashem Elokim et ha'adam afar min ha'adama, which is the body. Vayipach be'apav nishmat chaim, and give us neshama, right? So what is a human being? A combination of two things. Physical dimension, which is the body, and spiritual dimension, which is the neshama. Most of the people of the world knows that they have a body. And they are aware of the needs of the body. And they think and they run and manage their life like they are physical entities, that the purpose in life is to make the body happy. Feed it, make it feel comfortable physically. Most of the people in the world, I'm talking about 99.9% of the world, if you ask them, what is the right way to live your life? Have fun and give your body the most comfortable way. This is it. I have to tell you, most of the people of the world do not have any clue that they have a neshama, that they have a soul. And even of those who heard that there is such a thing called soul, they have no clue what is this. Exactly. How to run it. You know about the body that you need to eat. And if you eat not too good food, the body will react to it, right? What is the food of the soul? Nobody knows. How to operate it right? Nobody knows. So most of the people of the world, from 100% of their entity, aware, in the good case, of 50%. The body. The soul, they do not know. And it's at least 50% that they ignore. Therefore, they are not tzaddikim. Because tzaddik is tzedek, justice. Justice is to relate to both parts. Right? The only one that could relate to the other parts and be aware that the neshama, the soul, is hidden inside the body. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you do not see your soul, you see your body. I could not see your souls now. I could not even see my soul. But I know that there is such a thing, but it's hidden, it's not physical. So the soul connected to the hidden light, to the Or HaGanuz. The only way to live your life in a full way is when you know how to operate the body and the soul together. And this is the Torah. Torah direction. Direction of what? how to operate your full capacity, your full entity. And the mitzvot, the meaning of the word mitzvot in Hebrew, mitzvot is, if you take the mem, put it away, you will be left with tzadik vav vav taf, which is in Hebrew the word tzevet. What tzevet? Tzevet is a team. Tzevet is a team. Team of what? Body and a soul. So the mitzvot is giving you, be aware of the following. We eat. Animals also could eat and eat, right? We could eat as an animal, and we could eat as a human being or as Jews. What's the difference? If you say bracha before, this is it. Animal could not say bracha. When you say bracha, you have to think what you're saying. And you know, let me just show you. I have a cup of tea. Before I drink it, I said, Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam, she'akol niya bidvaro. I said Hashem without the name. I just want to give it an example, right? What actually I'm doing? I'm drinking. I'm just drinking. Every dog and cat drink also, right? But when I drink, I could give the physical act of drink a spiritual dimension. A spiritual... when you know what I'm saying when I'm declaring that Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam she'akol niya bidvaro? What's the declaration over here? Many people say it without understanding what they're saying. Team. A team. I'm declaring that everything that exists in the world exists because Hashem say it. Vayomer Elokim bidvaro, His words. Those are the words of God. Meaning, every physical action that I'm doing, I'm taking in account the creator of the universe and the purpose of the universe. So it's become not just a technical physical action, but it become a physical with spiritual meaning. And this way, I'm actualizing my potential. This is the meaning of the mitzvahs. And this is the direction. Those are the directions of the word Torah. In those directions, there is a hidden light. The hidden light is the meaning of the mitzvahs. This is it. Now, when the Greeks came to the world, let's go back to Chanukah and conclude with this. When the Greeks came to the world, they contribute to the world amazing thing. You know what? Science. Who contribute the science to the world? The Greeks. The great philosopher. Plato, Socrates, right? Aristotle. Aristotle was the personal teacher of Alexander the Great. He was his teacher, private teacher. So when Alexander conquered the world, he did the physical technical thing, but the spirit of his teacher was with him. And what the Greeks contribute to the world? Logic, rational, science. They are the founder of the entire science until today, right? Now, what actually they saying? They discovered two amazing things. First, the world is functioning by the laws of nature. There is such a thing called laws of nature. Everything in the universe is very, very precise and very, very, this amazing, complicated creation has a specific laws that everything that happened is according to those laws. The other thing that they found is the ability to think logically. Now, if you take those two and put them together, if you use your mind in the right way, think logically, you will be able to understand the laws of nature. If you understand the laws of nature, you could put them together in order to serve your quality of life. And because of that, we have air conditioning, we have cars, we have airplanes, right? Because of all the knowledge that accumulated during the time of the research of who started this? The Greeks. The Greeks were the first scientists in the world. No doubt about this. So they contribute a lot to the world. In a way, it's a good thing. why we have a problem with this. And I want to explain what the problem that we have. The Greeks made a big fight with the Jews because the Jews says to the Greeks the following. It's true, there are laws of nature, there is ability of the person or the human being to understand the laws of nature, but, and here's the but, aside from the human mind, there is something higher, the mind of the Creator. And he sees things that we could not see. We do not know everything. The Greeks over here says the following. No. There is nothing that the human being could not understand. Anything that the human ability could not, anything that beyond the human understanding is not true. Is a fairy tale. It's not logic. And until today they say it. Until today. If you talked about certain things, they will say, it's not scientific. We could not prove it in the laboratory. We cannot prove it scientifically. Meaning, the mind of the human being is the final authority, nothing above it. Says the Jews, yeah, we really appreciate the human way of thinking, but we appreciate something even more. The mind of the Creator. And the knowledge of the Creator. And the knowledge of the Creator was given to us in Sinai. We got the Torah. And the Torah give you some instructions of the Torah, every human being can understand. Let's say don't steal, don't kill, don't murder, right? You do not need the Torah for this. Even people without the Torah will understand that it's necessity. But to eat kosher, not to eat kosher, who needs this? The human mind do not understand this. You see the Goyim, the non-Jews, they eat non-kosher, and they live good life until 120. So why? Why? About these things, the Greeks made the fight. No, we want you to give up those laws of Torah to be Hellenists. That's what they want. Therefore, Chazal says that Yavan, Greek, is darkness. Is darkness. Why it's darkness? Not because they're not right. Because we agree that there are laws of nature. We agree science is not a threat on the Torah. You have to understand. But when they take the physical and say, this is it and there is no more over it, behind it, this is the darkness. What is the light? Which is the antidote to the darkness. The light is the Torah, the hidden light. We know that there are things that we do not understand now. Because our ability to think is limited. And the Torah is beyond those limits. And about this was the fight. And we won. We won. And therefore, we're lighting the menorah, and those menorah shows us. Now when we look at the neros, you could see. We said, after we light the neros, we said, hanerot halalu kodeshem. They are holy. En lanu reshut להשתמש בהם. We are not allowed to use them for mundane everything day. אלא לראותם בלבד. We have only to look at them, but we have to look at them. And when you look at them after this lecture, you will know what you sing. You sing the hidden light. Okay? So, this is the thing that we could cover. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of Chanukah. We have a few hours.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When they put the Beit HaMikdash,
Yeah.
and there is something, the name is Kodesh HaKodashim.
Yeah.
The Sifra, the Torah, the Moshe bring down is in there or in the Hall?
The Torah, okay. We had two Beit Mikdash, first one and the second one. In the first one, in Kodesh HaKodashim was an ark. The ark, the place when Hashem commanded us in the desert to build Aron HaKodesh. That was in the Mishkan and then later on the Mikdash. In this Aron, in the ark, was two things. The tablets, the 10 Commandments on the tablets, and the books, the Chamisha Chumshei Torah that Moshe Rabbeinu wrote at the end of his life. Okay? those were in the ark, in Kodesh HaKodeshim, during the first Beit HaMikdash. Before the first Beit HaMikdash destroyed, one of the kings, Yoshiyahu Melech Yehuda, commanded the Kohanim to take the Aron Kodesh with the tablets in it and hide it in the mountain, deep down, because Har HaBayit, the place where Beit HaMikdash is, was on it. Deep down in the ground, they hid it because they didn't want it. They knew that Beit HaMikdash was going to destroy it. They didn't want the Babylonians to take the Aron HaKodesh. So in second Beit HaMikdash was no Aron HaKodesh. It was hidden since it's still down there. Yes, and nobody could know until the third Beit HaMikdash will be rebuilt, and then.
How come the Muslim goes on top of that and pray on top of that and walk off top of that? If it's not under,
They do not care. They are not Jewish.
but it's okay.
It's not okay, but they don't care.
Okay, and one more question. The Beit HaMikdash was there, and all the Jewish people around the world. Which way? I know they have to pray. The way is
To Yerushalayim, yes.
Jerusalem. But if somebody of back of the Beit HaMikdash living there, how come they have to? If they pray in back of that Hakodashim, Kodesh Hakodashim, it's okay.
Look.
Because they have to be face to face.
Let me tell you again. Beit HaMikdash is here, right in the middle. Anywhere in the world that you are, if you're in the north, you pray to the south. If you're in the south, you pray to the north. If you're in the east, you pray to the west. Right? Now, if you're in Yerushalayim yourself, I was born in Yerushalayim. Depend which neighborhood you're in Yerushalayim, you always face Beit HaMikdash. From anywhere that you were. Even if you're in Beit HaMikdash, so if you're in the east of Beit HaMikdash, you pray to the west, where Kodesh HaKodeshim is. If you're in the west, you pray toward Kodesh HaKodeshim, always. If you know where it's Kodesh HaKodeshim, this is the direction that you have to pray to. Yeah. You could say it in Hebrew.
היה שיעור, אז אצל בית כנסת שלנו, היה רבי מזרחי, ראינו בסרט שהיה מישהו היה עובר בכביש